session, I'm going to talk about OpenShift Streams for Apache Kafka, give a brief overview of what this service is, what is the ecosystem that comes with it, what are the features, and finally, what are the benefits that comes with the Apache Kafka as a managed service. So what is RHOSAK? In short, it's a fully hosted and managed Kafka service for stream-based applications. It focuses on reducing your operational cost and infrastructure cost for maintaining Kafka infrastructure so that your development team can focus on delivering cloud native applications across all your hybrid cloud environments. So what does Red Hat Kafka ecosystem consists of? So it consists of a curated services that are brought to you together so that you can support building, deploying, and maintaining your stream-based applications. You have OpenShift connectors that are going to make it easy to consume and share streaming data between applications and your enterprise systems by using pre-built connectors without writing a single line of code. It also comes with schema registry that is included that will make it easy for you to develop and distribute and communicate your streaming data topics, right? So these are some of the ecosystem features that come with Red Hat RHOSAK. So what is the value that RHOSAK is bringing to the table? It is going to allow for a faster application velocity and which will facilitate the teams to begin developing immediately and continuously modify your individual microservices and implement new technology quickly. You do not have to worry about setting up your Kafka infrastructure or maintaining it. So it's going to reduce your complexity across all clouds because you are hidden from the complexity of what it takes to manage the Kafka infrastructure. Okay. And it also provides your Kafka ecosystem that I went through in the previous slide, which is a curated set of cloud services to simplify your delivery of stream-based applications. This here talks to you about what is included with RHOSAK, right? So how do you interact with it? So there is a self-service UI where you can create a Kafka instance, create your topics, manage your access and everything in a UI friendly way. There is also a CLI provided for you to interact with the Kafka instances. There is a service binding operator in question, which also helps your other service binding applications for you to inject the binding configuration variables on the fly. And there is also an API based solution. So underneath that, what you are getting out of this managed service is that there is metrics and monitoring included for your Kafka clusters, where you can monitor your health of the Kafka clusters, right? And you can provision, your automated provision is available for your Kafka clusters. You want to go from 3 brokers to 6 brokers, that is completely managed by the Red Hat support team, right? And it at its core, it is still based on Apache Kafka. And what you're getting is a guaranteed SLA of 99.95% and a 24/7 premium support that comes when you subscribe to the managed Kafka by Red Hat. Okay, now that we had a brief overview of what RHOSAK is, let's see how you can consume this service. So if your company already has a committed spend with hyperscalers such as AWS, you can find the RHOSAK service in your AWS marketplace, as you can see on my screen. So you have to subscribe it, and it is like any other SaaS offering, and it is based on pricing, and it is which is based on your usage, right? And if not for AWS marketplace, you can always subscribe to managed RHOSAK from Red Hat itself. This is just a simpler way for you to use your committed spend towards this. I'm going to leave the links for this and other related documentation links in the description. You can check it out later. Okay. Now I want to go through a demo of how to easily set up a managed Kafka instance. We have a free tier available, which is available to anyone with who has a login account with Red Hat. And you can try our Kafka service at no cost, and it is available for 48 hours. And you'll get your new Kafka instance. You can create topics, and yeah, you can play around basically without committing to subscription for your POCs, right? So to do this, you want to log in to console.redhat.com here. And so in here, you can come over to Streams for Apache Kafka, go to Kafka instances, and try here to create a Kafka instance. So go ahead and give a name for your Kafka instance. Since this is a free trial version, you just have a couple of regions that this is available right now. And once you create the instance, it takes about 2 to 3 minutes for your instance to be ready. Kafka instance is ready here. As you can see, it took about 5 minutes to come online. So once this is ready, what you want to do is click the link that hovering over your Kafka instance. And once you're here, what we want to try to do is try to create a couple of topics and give appropriate access permissions to it. And yeah, we are also going to create a service account that can be bound to these topics. So since these topics and this Kafka instance is part of the free tier, we can the number of partitions is going to be just one, because we only have one Kafka instance here. And you can leave the default values here, the message retention a week and retention size is unlimited. And yeah, just hit finish. Okay, now that the topic is created, let's go ahead and create a service account that we can use later for our Kafka cat tool to produce and consume messages to this topic from. So I have a couple of service accounts here from the past, but let's try to create a new one so that we can see how it going to be, how it is going to be. Make sure you copy the client ID in the secret. Okay. So go back to your Kafka instance and click on Access, Manage Access. Here you're going to select the service account that you have just created, my Kafka SA. You're going to add permissions for both consuming and producing to the topic. I'm going to select star because I want the permissions to be applied for all of the topics in this case. Okay, so now that the ACLs are in place, let's go ahead and bring out our tool to consume from these Kafka topics. So here in my OpenShift environment, I have a tools container image deployed. A pod is already running. So this particular pod has some useful tools, and Kafka Cat is one of it. You can also download Kafka Cat on your own terminal, on your laptop, and you can try to connect to the broker for the Kafka instance we just created. Okay. For the Kafka cat specifically, we need to set some variables for Bootstrap server for Kafka and the username and password, which are the client ID and the secret that we just generated for the SA. So for the Bootstrap server and the Kafka connection details, you can come back to the My Kafka or the Kafka instances page that you have created. Click the three dotted line here and go to connection. So here you can see the Bootstrap server. Go ahead and copy that. Come back here, and I'm going to put them in a variable. Now let's go ahead and put the client ID and secret. Okay, so now that the variables are set, we can try the Kafka cat command to produce messages to this instance. My first topic is the topic that we created. Okay. Start typing your messages. So I've just typed in 3 messages here. So now let's see if it gets connected to the instance and the topic, and if the messages have been produced to the topic. So go back to your console.redhat.com page, go to your Kafka instance, and go to the topics tab. And here you go, my first topic that we have created, and we use the same service account and gave the ACLs that we are using the Kafka cat with. And go to the messages tab and check for new data. There you go. So this is a UI or for browsing messages that have been sitting in the topics. So this is a handy tab for you to see the messages that are present in the topic. So as you can see, it's first, second, third. You can see basic information like timestamp and the offset. So here in our case, the partition is always 0 because we created the Kafka instance and the topic with only one partition. That's it. So in a simple process, we have seen how to set up Kafka instance using the free tier of RHOSAK. We have seen how to easily create a service account and tie up the ACLs that are needed and create topics, and how to produce to those topics. Thank you so much for watching.